obviously there's disappointment, but what has been accomplished in raising the new level at Duke?
Well, I know they're very aware of their accomplishments. We've talked about that going into this, separated that 10-2 regular season from the championship game. We just went 0-1 in a championship ball game. We'll put this behind us. We've got to learn a little bit more about where we'll be playing in a bowl game, and I think once you get back on the practice field, that's where the real healing starts. But I am very proud again of their efforts and who they are and what they've done, and results don't change you when you're the right kind of people.
Obviously had a lot of guys who didn't beat the guy in front of them. What would Anthony Boone have needed to do better to keep y'all in the game longer?
Well, you have to make plays when they present themselves, and you know, we're not going to beat a lot of people when we complete 50% of our passes, and you know, that's not always just the quarterback. But in a game like this, any given opportunity to make a play, you better make
it. Can you comment on Breon, first guy in the ACC championship game with 2 interceptions, true freshman?
Breon Borders is a very talented young man, and I think is going to be a terrific player if he keeps working like he's worked. And he and Brian Fields are, you know, together. That tandem is about as good as we've had in young corners, and so I'm excited about his future.
Was it kind of symbolic to try to get Josh Need that touchdown there at the end?
Well, I don't know if it was symbolic, but I was happy that it happened. It was good for Josh there, but we really weren't thinking in that regard, but it was a really good run. He had to slice through a very small hole to get that done, so I was happy for him.
David, I know it's early, but you had some key guys go out in the second half with injuries. Do you have any early prognosis on their availability?
Well, Perry Simmons looks like he's got a pretty significant knee injury, which, you know, is very concerning for a guy that's had no injuries in 50 straight starts. So until I know tomorrow more about each and every one, I know Brandon Cannett went out, Shaquille Powell went out, you know, but Perry I do know a little bit more about, but we'll wait and see what the results of an MRI tell us.
To our left, Coach.
Hey, David, what did you think of that play when Norman was called for the penalty and he lost for the bowl game, I guess, they were part of it, right?
Yeah, I don't know if what I think about it is important right now. You know, that's a tough rule. All he was doing was breaking on the football. And you're teaching him try not to take a blow at the head. And so he had to go whoa, which he did and did a good job of. What they told me they called was that he used the crown of his helmet. Well, when you go low, when you put your shoulders down to keep from hitting the guy in the head, your head goes with it. So, you know, that's just an interesting call, and I'm disappointed that it occurred that late in the game with a score what it was, and we lose a guy for the first half of a bowl game. You know, that's not ideal.
Back in the room, Coach.
Dick Cox with Cox Sports Broadcasting. Coach, I know it wasn't results you wanted, but talk about what this means to your program to have an opportunity to play for a championship and then go on and play in a nice ball game too.
Well, I think it's important, and what I hope, the importance of playing in this game to me is not about recruiting. It's about wanting to get back to it and wanting to win it. There's a process involved in all of this, and there's no atmosphere like conference championship atmosphere, and I'm glad they have experienced it. I hate the fact that it was experienced in such a, you know, a manner where the loss hurt, but maybe that hurt propels you forward is what you have to hope.
Hey, Coach, what was different in the last 3 quarters defensively from when you guys were able to shut them out in the first period?
Well, I think the matter of what I said in the opening statement, we didn't make enough first downs during that period, that stretch on offense, and our defense wears a little bit. But we still played well. We had a turnover, which we hadn't had in the first half, backed up to give them points. So we still played good football. They're going to make plays. and they made a number of them. But had we done what we thought we could have done offensively, it was just a tough night. They're great on defense too. But it just didn't work out that we stayed on the field offensively as much as we hoped we would have.
Coach, obviously.
Wait for the microphone, please.
Coach, obviously not the result you were looking for, but can you talk a little bit about the success that you guys have had this season, specifically with